Hello everyone, my name is Justin Friederich, or J. Fred as you all know. This is my presentation. It was written, compiled, and composed by myself, so I hope that you guys enjoy it. What I'm going to be going over today are my metrics, PRPO and NEXT, the plans around them, how I had to modify them. Also, I'm going to go over what I've learned in COR Climbers, and then how I'm going to apply that going forward. PRPO, first of all, with all of the metrics, I mean, not just the ones that I did, but everything included, I believe that knowledge is essential. I think that the more that you know about any given metric, the more you can overcome objections and just be ready to take everything head on. My plan around this metric was to make sure that everyone understood how it works, all right? So a lot of people just see PRPO as, hey, $6.99, $9.99, or $29.99. Just if you give $6.99, you have to overcompensate that with a MVPP. Well, I look at it a different way. I say all you have to do is get protected feature revenue, okay? As long as you get a high protected feature revenue, then basically if you attain a certain amount of that, divided by the number of ops, then you'll reach your PRPO goal. This is how I'm successful with it. So the definition for PRPO is defined as the average amount of protection-based feature revenue per protection-eligible postpaid opportunity. And the way that it's calculated is by the technical definition, the sum of the protected feature revenue divided by the count of protected revenue-eligible ops. This is taken straight out of the metric library and sales dashboard. So the plan to increase the metric was to use the definition to make the metric more attainable and movable for employees. By calculating an employee's average number of ops and multiplying it by the PRPO goal for that month, you will get the protected revenue amount that employee will need in order to be successful, all right? Therefore, in theory, if you were to reach your goal for protected revenue, as I stated before, you would reach your PRPO goal. How did this pan out? Well, at first with this idea, it's a little bit more radical than, just trying to offer it to everyone or handing out cards or whatnot. So I wanted to start with a smaller group size, 5 people, right? The results, unfortunately, were a little bit inconclusive. 3 people had great success with it. 1 person stayed level, and then the 5th person, I miscalculated the number of ops needed, so the results were just inconclusive. I decided to scrap it and go with something a little bit less resistant to change. In September, this is when I was kind of working with those 5 individuals. We had a PRPO goal, or we had a PRPO in August when we started of $6.14. That actually went down to $5.94. So I wanted to make sure that what I did had an impact. We have a small amount of time in COR Climbers. So in October, I scrapped the plan, like I said, and worked closer with the quality coach to design a plan that would be less resistant to variables. I attributed the lower number in September to increased op count, iPhone launch, and not fully implementing the program. So what we did was came up with a plan where we let employees know every day where they are on PRPO. A constant reminder, hey, you're at $7.57, you're doing really good. Or hey, you're at $5.94, you need to kind of get some more, all right? This had great success. We had an increase of PRPO by 50 cents. So in November, we stuck with the same plan currently. And we continued with it and only made minor modifications. The quality coach assigned 2 members of the team to send out daily email reminders. And those email reminders would have a chart of where everyone is so far in the month, and they would be color coded. So it would have daily numbers, green for good numbers, yellow for intermediate or just right there, and then red for not doing so well. And this has a great impact because what it does is not only can the whole team see your numbers, but it lets you know, like, hey, I've got a whole line of red, I really need to get this metric up, or hey, I'm doing really well, maybe I can help other team members. We're projected to end the month flat rate at staying even at 643, which is really good because recently I found an amazing trend, which is PRPO has a direct inverse of the number of ops in the store. So if ops go up, PRPO goes down the exact same rate. It's pretty crazy when you look at it on a chart. So I was going to put that in there, but it was just going to take too much time to explain. Here's the PRPO results through the time at COR Climbers. Started in October or August, went down, as I said, in September. We implemented the new plan, and we're staying level. So, with next, planning to move the needle and keeping people engaged. The original plan was to, again, education, focusing on people. Next is a really hard metric to really control because there isn't a way to overcompensate. With PRPO, you cannot sell it to one person, and then if you sell $20 to the next person, then that evens out. It's $10. It's $20 either way for 2 ops. With Next, if you get 1-2 year, it's a negative detractor. It can't be undone. The most you can get in Next is 111%. Basically, the idea on this was instead of focusing on increasing everyone's Next percentage, I would just take the lower, anyone under 75%, and try to work that up. That way we could increase the store's Next to above 90%. So, like I say here, my focus on was to get employees who seem to struggle with the metric, I would identify these people as people who had a percentage of Next eligible grades at 75% below at these rates of the metric, and therefore raise the store's metric to get it above 90%. How did this work out? Well, it worked out well in August and September. It stayed flat, okay, which is good. There's not, that just means that we were able to keep it. And I went all the way back to June just to kind of show the progression of the store. The problem was in October, they took, as he had mentioned earlier, they took it off of the whiteboard. So employees stopped caring as much about Next. So I saw this as an opportunity to keep people engaged because, as Bevan knows, WTR is no longer on the dashboard. It's still important. So I still try to push for that metric and keep people engaged and just trying to overcome those objections. It is difficult because we're not paid on it and it's not something that you get recognized for, but I see that as an opportunity to try and just keep it going. Unfortunately, it's decreasing at a decreasing rate, but I will continue to try to work with that. What have I learned through COR Climbers? I broke it down into 5 categories and put cute little sayings at the beginning of them. The first one, the places you'll go. I need to communicate with people about my intentions, get them on board with what I'm doing, and make sure to stay connected. Shane Rangani said, set yourself apart from other reps and get people on your team. If they're not helping you, they're hurting you. 2, keep your eye on the prize. I need to shoot for my goals and always be looking for new ways to attain them. Leanne Prevey said, broaden your experience and make sure that you're really good at if you're really good at your job, to develop someone to take your place. 3, take risk. This is a big thing for me. I stay in the same place for a long time, but try to get out of my comfort zone. The move forward isn't always the most comfortable one. Cardinal Williams said, think about jumping into a cold pool. You don't want to do it, but you just have to jump. 4, suit up or pair up. When I get overwhelmed with something, reach out to a mentor, meet up with them and get advice. James Austin said, it's not about what you've done, it's about what you're going to do to make others better. 5, try again. This is really important. This is the most valuable lesson I think I've learned, is that not every solution works for everyone. You have to find different ways to get people to do different things. If it works for me, it doesn't work for everyone, Not everything works out every time. Keep trying until you find out what works. William Edward Hickson is credited with this saying, "'Tis a lesson you should heed, try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again." Applying the knowledge and moving forward. What's next? I need to build up my Amplified profile. Also, research and investigate different roles in AT&T and begin to develop these competencies needed for these roles. Reach out to people who inspire me and find mentors who can help me get to where I need to go. Take risk and do something out of my comfort zone. That's huge for me. Continue to design and implement strategies that will help the business grow and spread that success to others. Communication, work on that. It's really important. I have a cute little gif of a favorite show of mine. I don't know if anyone's seen Arrested Development, but anyway, that is the conclusion.